Everybody, welcome over here. So I've been hearing more and more from our clients that hey, the death rate has gone down this year relative to the last couple of years. What else can we do to increase our call volume? And if you look at most large companies, whether it's a funeral home, right, doesn't matter what business you do own these days, everybody's working on operations efficiency, right? So overall, let's say that the last couple of years, 2.5 years, right, the pie increased, now the pie shrunk. What can you do to maximize your calls? And of course, you are still continuing to get right phone calls to come in. And one of the most critical thing is to convert that phone call into actual case. And of course, you got to make sure your team is properly trained to handle these phone calls, and that's just call them shoppers, right? So the more you can train your existing staff to be converting some of these phone calls, if they do call in asking for direct cremation, you're able to talk about the value of having services. Now you just increase your revenue per call, right? So I want to show you, of course, you want to be role playing with your team, but sometimes it's hard to do role play where you don't have time, or it's hard to kind of do it in a group setting, right? Sometimes they're a little bit afraid to be role playing with the whole staff, in front of the whole staff. So you can actually use ChatGPT to be role playing. And it's actually very, very simple. I've been playing with it quite a bit, and let me show you how simple it is. So all you do is, first of all, you want to ask it, hey, do you know who Chat Holmes is? The one who wrote the ultimate sales machine, right? Chat Holmes is very, very famous sales trainer. Then, of course, it will say, yeah, I know who Chat Holmes is. That's awesome, right? So then you want to tell it the scenarios. So for example, I own a funeral home in Las Vegas. We have families who call in to our funeral home to price shop us. I want to get better at handling these type of phone calls. Rather than mentioning that we are the lowest price, which we're not, I want to talk about our value. Can we role play here? You act as the family calling in, right? And right, asking about price, and I'm the funeral director who is answering the phone. Please ask one question at a time, and I'll answer it, right? The role play part. At the end of the call, I want you to critique the call and give me feedback as if you were Chat Holmes. Now you got the best of the best trainer, right? So then, of course, ChatGPT came back and understood what I'm asking him. Of course, I'd be happy to role play. I'll start as a family member calling your funeral home. Then this is where we start, right? Family member, hello, I'm calling, right? We just had a death in the family and we're looking for funeral services. Can you please tell me how much, right, your service cost, right? And I'm pretending to be somebody who is not good on the phone, right? I'm the funeral director answering the phone, right? So I basically just say, yeah, it's 1950. Of course, I hope you guys aren't doing that. I'm using extreme examples here, right? And it just talks about, hey, can you tell me, right? I've been calling a few other funeral homes, and some of them have lower prices. Can you tell me what set your services apart and make them worth the higher price, right? Because I put the scenario here that we are not the lowest in town. I want to talk about our value, right? So that's where I start going back and forth. That's pretty interesting, right? ChatGPT really knows a lot about the funeral profession, right? So kind of role play, I just basically used worst case example here. And then at the end of the day, at the end, then it gave me some feedback, right? Emphasize value, be empathetic, ask questions thoroughly, invite a caller to learn more. So this is something I really do encourage you to start having your team use ChatGPT to be role playing, right? And you can, as the owner, come up maybe with 5 different scenarios. For example, first scenario is somebody who is looking for direct cremation, but you're not the lowest in town, and you want to talk about the value of actually having a service, right? So you want to come up with a few different scenarios and role play, and ideally you're role playing this with your team, and also role having them get better at it, role playing with ChatGPT. Okay, have fun with this.